Welcome to everyone. So nice to see you. I love it. Again, we're just going to wait a few more minutes for people to come in. We had a really fun time on the showcase last year. Last month, not last year. Clearly somebody's on summer vacation mode still. That would be me. I apologize in advance for everyone if in the background there's a storm of children that run through. Those would be my three children. I know that they're going to be coming home with their mother in a little bit here, but we'll see how that works out. So great. So let's get started. Before we go anywhere, I want to remind everybody about a few things, right? Obviously, we're all here because you're part of the Xperiencify community. We're super excited to have you about it. And you may hear me or Murray or Rachel or Gabrielle or Brenda, who's also on the call today. You may hear us say this, and I want to say it once more just with the deepest sincerity that we actually are here because we really care about you being successful as creators, as online creators, as online course creators. It sometimes comes across as a sales pitch. It sometimes comes across as, oh, hey, that's what, they're supposed to say that. But I like to emphasize that it really is a genuine belief. And, I know it comes directly from Murray, the man who founded this company, that we're really passionate about doing this better and helping people to become better creators. And so that's one of the reasons why we have this showcase. It's also one of the reasons why we do our office hours. It's one of the reasons why we have a support team that's around, 7 days a week and whatnot. So really take that to heart as you continue to build your course, as you continue to go out there and sell, as you continue to bring new learners into your life, as you experience challenges. Tell us about them so we can help you overcome them. As you experience, wins, go through them in the, the Facebook group or tell them about us now, or like in this place as well. So we can all celebrate together. But that's really, it's really an honest sentiment that we're really invested in making sure that you're successful. To that end, I want to just share a couple of things with you to make sure everybody knows about them. The first is that we do have, right now, this hour that we're going to be together is a part of our open office hours and trainings and workshops that we do. We do these types of events 3 times a week. Usually they are open office hours that Brenda leads, and they are opportunities for you to come ask any question that you want, whether it's about how to create something, how to use a part of the technology, maybe a question about your business or your practice that you're building. It's a space, and we offer them at different times, 3 times a week. And again, we really encourage you to come join us. If you go to our help center and you just search for open office hours, you can come down here. You can very quickly see our schedule. You can open up the schedule. You can also have it imported into your calendar just in case you want to, have it in your calendar so you know when the next one is. But as you can see, they vary in times so that we try to accommodate all parts of the world. And again, they're totally free. There's no cost to them. The second thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows about before we get started is that we also know for most people who join Xperiencify, learning a new technology platform and becoming a super tech savvy person around, course creation and becoming an instructional designer, those are not necessarily your highest priorities. Usually your highest priorities are building out your practice, bringing in new learners, and working with your clients. And so we do have the option at Xperiencify for building a course for you. And so that we call this the done for you service. And so I encourage you, again, go over our help center and, just search for D for you or, done for you or build your course for you. And you can go through, we've recently upgraded this service. You can see that we, all of those templates out there, we build everything that we have a template for. We do have this really fun 150% money back guarantee, depending on our delivery schedule. And you can see, our pricing plan and those kinds of things. Again, not here to sell you, but just want to put it out there just as I know I've met, literally hundreds of people in this community now. And I know that that's, many times we're not here to learn a new tech. We're here to build a business and, get our courses out there. So that is a way to reduce some friction and get things out there. So let me stop sharing my screen now. And, let's just put a few ground rules before I let one of our presenters go out there that, again, we've received tons and tons of applications to be a part of the showcase, and we're going to be holding them every month. And I have a list of people. If you want to be a part of it, just send me an email and I will make sure that you get on that list so that, we randomly pick 2 people every month. And we love to see all kinds of different disciplines and different reasons and all the different things that you're building with. And for this session, we heard pretty clearly last time that rather than having 3 presenters, it would be better to have 2 presenters and have a little bit more time to pull apart the course and learn about, the challenges and the successes they've had and whatnot. So that's why this time we only have 2 presenters rather than 3. And then, I hope it always goes without saying, but, keep your comments positive. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to give positive feedback. We're here to be constructive. We're here to, make sure that we all have the opportunity to grow. And so, let's not have any sort of hateful stuff or sort of derogatory stuff go out there, regardless of what your views are and those kinds of things. So with that said, I didn't bring a coin with me. I'm gonna let Lori kick us off. First. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna let Lori kick us off. Lori Morgan, why don't you introduce yourself and take us away? You can feel free to share your screen whenever you're ready. And for everyone who's in the chat with us, please throw your questions in the chat as they come in, as you think about them or as they come up. And I'll make sure to feed them in and make sure that Lori knows that they're there. Go for it.
All right, cool. I'm gonna close the chat and then because you're gonna tell me if there's something.
Yeah, exactly. I got you.
Yeah, it's like too much. So, hey, I'm Lori Morgan. I run a business called Red Hot Copy, and I've been an entrepreneur since 1999 and A-list copywriter since like the early 2000s. But in about 2008, I pivoted to basically sell to women. And so that's what my specialty is. And so since I've been in this so long and the technology has changed so much, from teleseminars, from faxes to teleseminars to webinars, that finally I had like all this like collections of products on different technology, and it's all just so splintered. So I was looking for an umbrella to move everything into and to update it. And so actually, if I don't know if you guys know Adil Amarsi, he was the one who recommended Xperiencify to me. And I had looked at a few different programs like Kajabi and they just seemed flat. And when I saw Xperiencify, I was like, whoa, this is it. Because it was fun. And it actually, Murray and Marissa, I met them about 10 years ago too. And I love their energy. So I'm like, yes, this is where I'm going. This is my home. And then when I got in, I was like, holy shit, it's like a jet airliner. There's so much stuff. And I feel like I have a glider license, but it was fun though. I really enjoyed like just getting my hands in there and digging around and building my courses. And they really changed the way that I approached building courses, because I've been teaching them for a long time. And I was like Marissa, I don't know if you guys saw that video where she's like, I put everything into this course. It's this huge, amazing course. And people were just like overwhelmed. That's what my stuff was like. And so when I started reading Murray's suggestions to like, just break things into little chunks, I'm like, duh, that makes so much sense. So I started off with the expiring mini course, and that was like mind blowing. It was so cool. Such a brilliant concept and super powerful too. So that's what I'm going to focus on today was my EMC, which is basically the lead magnet, right? So you have 3 days to take the course and then it expires. And what I love about it, I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, love that it's got all this follow-up built in, and with emails, with reminders, and also positive reinforcement about like, yes, you're doing it and all that stuff. So it's been great. And then I'm still building out so many other things, but that took me a long time as sort of what I was cutting my teeth on. And then of course you had to have the upsell. And I did it a different way that Murray actually didn't recommend that I do it this way, but I did it anyway, because that's me. But I did it as a live course. I upsold as a live course because I find I create better if I'm forced to do it like that. And then I had a week in between each to do the new module. So it worked out great because, the module doesn't drop until I let it drop. So it worked out great. And then I could take that and turn that into an evergreen course. So that's the whole sort of what you're going to see here real quick. And I do see a question. Shall I answer this?
Yeah, sure. So I think that, let me put, I want to add a tack and onto that. So the question for everyone who hasn't seen it is how big was your mailing list for your EMC? I'd be interested to know as well, like, you said you've been doing this for quite a while. Did you come with your audience or were you starting kind of fresh and, now you're building courses and you wanted to sort of start as you said, you pivoted and kind of started a whole new business and you were selling to a different set of person, or did you bring your audience with you?
I brought my audience with me. They've kind of grown with me, and they told me that's what they wanted. They wanted to know how to sell to women. And so since it's sort of a male dominated industry, it just was a natural gravitation. So I have a list of 4,000. I'm constantly scrubbing it. So it's not a huge list. And I also had 5 affiliates with the EMC. In 2 weeks, we sold, not sold, whatever. We got 802 students in 2 weeks. And of those 862 to the upsell, we got 24 people to the upsell. Not, huge numbers, but it was enough to keep me going on to the next course. And then the evergreen course from there, which I didn't really push as hard because I'm still learning everything. We got 7 sales for that. I will say also, I ended up hiring a VA in the Philippines, Faith, who's been freaking amazing. She worked with somebody else on the technical stuff. So she's really helped me get going a little bit faster, but I still have to drive the plane. I still have to see
Mm.
what it is that I'm doing.
I want
So
to take, I want to pause you for just a second because I want to take a deep breath. That number 862 is fantastic. Congratulations. That's absolutely wonderful. But also I want to make sure that we don't overwhelm everybody else in the audience as well, because that's a pretty huge number to achieve on your EMC. And so I want to give confidence to everyone else. Like, this is the reason why we do these showcases, because I want you all to recognize this is an opportunity to use Lori as a resource, listen to what she's saying, and really, like, rather than saying, oh shit, I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, this is something that she's been able to achieve. And so that's possible for each of us. And so I want to just call that out there too.
thank you. I appreciate that because, to be honest, with the people in my industry at the level that they're at, those numbers are like nothing. So I'm always the one at the other end going, oh my gosh, I could never do this. So you're right. And no
Well,
matter,
sure. So many people come to us from, Maurice's courses, EMP and whatnot, and they go to a webinar and they see 7,000 people on the webinar, right? And so getting intimidated and getting overwhelmed. I've been an entrepreneur like you for decades now, and it's just so easy to have that imposter syndrome, to have that doubt creep in and whatnot. So I just wanted to call that out and say, hey, this is a great achievement. Congratulations, and also this is possible. So great.
awesome. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and show you, kind of walk you through what this looks like. This right? Yes, here we go. Okay, so this is an AI little logo. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Cool. All right, so this has become like my brand now. This cowgirl. I'm a cowgirl anyway. We have horses. I freaking love the West and the pew pews and all that stuff. So it's just built into my brand. But this is the title. This is the template, right, from XP, turn women into buyers. And what I really enjoyed was that you guys make the writing so easy. I mean, I'm gonna say I'm a writer, right? I know how to do it, but you just make it so easy to just plug in things in, and then I can, put my own brand and my own style to it. So yeah, that I loved that. And this is the opt-in page. I'm not going to read it to you or anything, but so this is
Did
all.
you make did you make a conscious choice to put the image on the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side?
I believe we did that because I'm facing the facing into the copy. So
Mhm.
yeah, we did. Do you think it would look better reversed?
No, I just know that our template, when our template is created for anyone, the image is always on the right side. And so I was wondering if it was a conscious choice to move it.
It was. It was.
Cool.
And so there it is. Here's our enrollment form. And so I'm just going to put in a fake email because I just found out you could do this. I didn't even know you could do this. So I can do test@gmail.com. And I'm here. My last name is Test also. And you can actually get access to it without like using your regular email. If you go through the course, and I didn't know this, you'll have triggered all the celebrations and everything. And so you'll see it differently than a very fresh student would see it. So I'm putting this in so you can see what it would look like with all the, oh, I did that one before. So it had a celebration the very first time, a little horse going. So then here it comes, and then I made a little video. And you do this without alienating the guys, which is an important factor. It's a big objection. Like, I don't want to just write to women. I want, to write to both genders. And so then we have our little, celebrations and your mission. And then it goes into, there's 3 lessons. And one is the bro marketing conundrum. And I guess I won't walk you through this whole thing because I wasn't sure how this would be laid out. So the bro marketing conundrum, and then next is it's in the DNA. So I talk about the science of why it's different. And then the third training is about don't market to her, court her. And then that's when it goes into the upsell. And then they also get like a list of words that women tend to find appealing. And they also get a kind of an outline of the whole thing, because as you know, you can't save these videos, and people are used to having courses that they can go back and download to their computer and things like that. And I love that they can't, that they have to, come back to our ecosystem for that. And then the completion gift that they get is it's called Flash Fiction Factory. And what it is a storytelling prompt book. And that's kind of seeds for my other the other thing I'm known for, which is storytelling. So those are the things like selling to women. Storytelling works really well when you're selling to women, by the way, guys. So I have courses on that too that they're developed, but I want to refine them even more so.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we doing this?
Are the handouts that you just said and the like the flash card, that piece of notes, is that what your bonuses that you're giving away, or?
Yes, that's right. Exactly. So when they get to 16 points, they earn the words bonus, the she factor words. And I think that's something that I can do better too, is to say up front, and I'm not sure where to put this yet, but to say up front, like, hey, when you get to 16 points, you're getting a special bonus. So it's not like they're getting points and they don't really understand why they're getting points. It's fun, but it's more fun when you're going towards a goal. And so I don't think I have put that in there clearly enough. So I want to do that. I'll go back and refine that a little bit.
Would you mind showing us at least, the start of one of your videos? I'm interested to know, do you have a high quality video production? How long did it take you to create your videos? Are you a person who, as everybody's seen on the Quick Start course, do you pick up your phone and just kind of talk to it? Like what's your production quality?
So I do it right here on my Mac. We do very little editing, and then I send it over to my VA, and she puts the music.
Welcome to the
Can you hear
Turn Women into Buyers mini course.
Can you hear that, by the way? You can?
Okay. The secrets to what women really want. Women today have an amazing amount of economic power, and it spans across all brands, products, services. If you've got something to sell, chances are you're probably selling to women as well as men. Reaching women is a little bit more difficult than we might think, because the traditional marketing methods that we've been sort of raised on, if you're in direct response, it really doesn't cut it with women. It doesn't resonate with them. And since they hold the purse strings, they don't have to put up with it. So a lot of times they'll just look for a different option. But it wasn't always this way. Women did not always have this power. In fact, let's do a little timeline review here. So back when direct response sort of came onto the scene.
Okay, so that's it.
Yeah, fantastic. And so let me ask you this. So you've mentioned your VA a couple of times. What was your process for finding a virtual assistant? And how did you vet that person? Have you gone through a bunch of VAs to find the one that you want, or the one that really works for you, and the one that is kind of responsive? Or just give me the 2 minutes on that.
It won't take 2 minutes. I found her through the Facebook group on XP. She is amazing. I got completely lucky. I trust her immensely. She's super religious and she's super like respectful and polite. She's done somebody else's entire XP program, so she has a lot of experience. And I looked at her LinkedIn and she has a lot of technology experience. So she's highly, highly educated. The only issue is she's in the Philippines, so sometimes our time zones get really crossed. But other than that, I got lucky. That's the only thing I can say.
That's great. And do you use her for anything other than video editing?
No, only because this is my job. This is my business. Is everything is being built on XP. I used to be a copy chief for a company, and we parted ways in December. So I'm all in on XP and building this out to be my entire business. So yeah, I just need her for that right now. We are rebuilding my website, which I'm not. It's like really outdated. So she's helping me with that as well. But otherwise, it's all to be integrated into XP.
Fantastic. I just want to remind everyone now, like, this is a great time for you to put a question into the chat, or if you have a suggestion or a comment, or even a thumbs up. Sue, if you wouldn't mind throwing your question or your comment into the chat, that'd be great.
Cool. What else is, oh, I do have some, I'd love to see the questions, but this'll, when I get to my challenges, I guess I'll come up with that. But what I am, and I need to take you guys up on those office hours. I know you're very generous with your time. You have a lot of choices, and I've only been to one. So that's where I can ask a lot of these questions, but like such as I have a hard time finding the answers to the questions that I ask of my students and sorting them out.
That's great. So now you've got a couple of questions that come in, and one of them was just a kudos from Melissa Baker about great job consolidating your offering into the XP marketplace, which that's great. Congratulations. Rhonda's asking if you can tell us about how you list out the upsell. Like, how does the upsell happen?
Oh,
maybe we're going to get to that in a few minutes.
yeah, we can do that too. And did we already do this? My mailing list for EMC was for 4,000 plus some affiliates. I have to be honest, I don't know how big their lists were, but the affiliates really drove the sales. I got a lot of people. Well, I guess they drove a lot of signups as well. So it wasn't just my list.
Cool. Maisie is asking about what AI software did you use to create the AI logo?
Chat DALL-E, I'm not super good at it. Yeah. I just kept going until I found one, and I'm like, ooh, that's it. And so, yeah.
Very cool. Right on.
All right.
Go for it. Take us forward.
Okay, so let's go on to the upsell then. See, these are the kinds of questions I would ask, like trying to get some research for myself, some market research, but I can't find the answer. So I have to go to office hours and figure that one out. But let's say we did this. Done. Oh, you're not liking this. I have to do all these. Okay. Just done that. Oh no. Oh, done that. Oh my gosh. I thought we changed this. So you didn't have to type 30 words. I guess we did though.
You need to separate.
Oh,
yeah, we have to put some
counting
spaces
as
in
one
there.
word. Oh no. Wow.
Yay.
All right, so here comes my next session. Oh, I did this. I love these celebrations so much. It's a bummer that like once your name is in there, like it doesn't keep doing them for you. You know what I mean? Like once your email is recognized, you don't get to see them anymore. It's so sad. So here's the download the gender benders. I'll just show you what that looks like. This is, where did it go? Is this it? No.
Your downloads.
Thank you. I thought it would pop up. I thought because sometimes it comes up as just, oh, there it is, as a PDF. There it is. So this logo was also created using AI. And I made those my colors and just told it to use those colors. And so this is just basically kind of everything that goes on in the the presentation more or less, just a handout they can keep on their computer so they remember me. It's like an advertising thing. Then we go back. All right, so we downloaded that. And love that. Okay. Okay. And that. And then it's a lot of questions. This is supposed to be market research that I can't find anywhere. Test that I know it exists, you guys. All right, and I did download this, and now I'm ready for my last session. There's gift. All right, and so then it shows you that you get a special gift, and the special gift is those words, and that does show up here. So this is the She Factor words that you can, you know, keep and remember me, which is what it's all about. And then the next session, this is after we watch the video, then I have the biggest takeaway and feedback, really. And then this is, of course, where I want my my testimonials that I can't find. All right. Okay, so I think we're done, and then we get a completion gift, and this is it relates to the storytelling, and that also comes up. That comes up as a PDF, Flash Fiction Factory. This is a PDF I created a long time ago for another course that I did, so worked out good. I didn't have to do anything extra. Then we've got regift already. What happened to my sales page? Well, this is the last module, so I'm confused why it's not showing up, because it always has. How bizarre.
I'm wondering if you haven't gotten some tag on your some tag on your test account here or something that
Could
is there a
be.
block? Is there a block nut that's not showing up? That was my next question, was how do you get people to your upsell?
I know, that's what I was trying to walk you through this really quickly. And it has, I have done it before, and it shows up. Let me see if I have it pulled up here. No, that's the forum.
You
No,
uncheck one activity is not related to that.
did I miss one?
No.
Oh, thank you. That's it. Oh, well, exactly. That's what it was. And here it goes. Here comes the block. Okay.
Thanks for that catch. I'm glad that you saw
Yeah,
that.
right. All right, I'm going to close the chat. Okay, so the special offer is craft story-based email promos that sell to women. So it's really sticking with the female thing. Everybody may or may not be into writing emails. I don't, but that's what the offer is. All right, and so yay. And so I do this with all of my products. They're all like kind of higher priced, and then there's a coupon because it anchors that it's valuable, and then they get a really great deal. So they feel good about it. So they get $500 off. With this actually needs to be fixed. This is when it was a live course. These little things that they get by me.
So let me ask you, you know, because unfortunately we have to wrap your section up. The time goes by so fast, you know, so we get to Cody. But so maybe walk me through what have you found to be, you know, maybe your top 2 or 3 biggest challenges in creating the course, and, you know, now that you've got so many people that run through it, either administering it or working with those people, or what are your top challenges?
Well, most of it is finding the material under the hood. So I'm a writer, so I like to tinker with my emails, and it's not easy. My VA has shown me where to get them, but I can't find them easily. And so that's been a challenge to I would love for the emails to just kind of be in one place, but I have to go through this weird path to get there. So that's been somewhat of a challenge. I don't love the sales page block because this is it works, it's effective, but this is why I have this open, is because this is the kind of sales page I'm used to, where it's one big column, the long sales page, where you really highlight the benefits and get them their desires fanned before you sell to them. And so this is the sales page that is on my website. They haven't necessarily gone through the course, but the EMC. This is just like just a straight sale. So at any rate, there's no room for this kind of, I don't think, although this has an Xperiencify email address, URL. But I can't put it up as a block is what I'm trying to say. So that's kind of a little, it works, but it wasn't exactly what I was hoping for.
Sure. I guess one way that you could do that would just to be to link. I don't know where that big yellow button goes, but I'm assuming that big yellow button goes to that big landing page.
No, it goes to this
Okay.
short one. So you're saying I could swap that out? I could
Well,
do
you
that
could you
easy
could definitely have it linked to that other long email page, or this order page that you have here. You can I always tell everyone you can make Xperiencify as easy or as complex as you'd like. So, what you're looking at right now is just a web page. And so, working with it to make, grow it and make it into that one column kind of sales page that you're used to is totally
Mhm.
possible. It's just a matter of some, yeah.
Okay, well, great. But otherwise, I've been super happy with it. It's just been a little, it's a lot of material. It's a lot of stuff.
Sure.
And you
Mhm.
guys keep adding things to it, which is wonderful too, actually. But it doesn't, it's an ongoing learning curve.
Fantastic. Well, can I ask you thank you so much, first of all, for sharing. Really appreciate it. It's always, a challenge to get up in front of a bunch of strangers and, talk about something that you're creating and talk about your challenges. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. But I'd love to pass the mic over to Cody so that he can have an opportunity to show off what he's built as well. Sue, I want to acknowledge the questions you're having right there about the challenges you've had using the EMC templates. What I would encourage us is we always save some time at the end. So we'll come back to your question, Sue, to have a more general conversation around the templates. And then obviously let's see where we go. So, but let's pass it over to Cody so that we can have him show off.
Great. Let's see. You want me to start with a screen share, right? I'm still kind of learning Zoom, so give me a moment.
Well, while you're doing that, talk us through your practice and what you sell.
Okay. Well, I help artists transform their art from a state of confusion or stagnation to a place of confidence and inspired growth so they can achieve the results they desire using my 6-step mental model and total artist training. And I'm a lifelong oil painter, landscapes mostly. And I had a gallery in Arizona for 23 years. And then I moved to Portugal and found it's difficult to make a living. So I'm trying to shift to online. And that's how I found, the Xperiencify course that I took. And now I'm learning all the back end, the technical side of it. So I did run a course in February, my first ever. I had 6 students, came within about $100 of making my course fee back. So I was happy with that. And so I'm going to run the course again. I've been improving it, updating it. And I'm going to run it again and here in about a month. And in just another week or so, I'm going to do a little expiring mini course. And so I've also been trying to get that up and running. Let me see here. I've got the order form. Okay, so here's the mini course. I got the countdown timer to when they can sign up and my video about the course itself, which is like 3 little lessons that they do. And then at the end of that, of course, I offer to let them sign up for the main course. this is the, so this starts out with a video, and I'll just. Hi, I'm Cody DeLong and welcome. So I just start out talking about the course, and then I've got some lessons that they do. There's a couple of drawing lessons, and then at the end there's a painting lesson. Just talking about general design principles, and just to give them a taste of the kind of things that they'll learn if they sign up for my main course, which I call Mastering Light. And so I've been trying to get this set up. And if they click down here, that takes them to my sales page. And this is for the course. And I've just got the discount thing the other day set up. Let's see. If they type that in, they get a 40% discount. So if they're watching, if they do the mini course, they get that discount. If they're on my mailing list, they get that discount. And I'm trying to think of some other ways to offer that as well on social media, for example. I don't have a big mailing list or a big following, so that's one of my challenges to try to
No,
get.
but one of the things I did notice, I've noticed on your it's either your landing page or your homepage. I was looking at, I was reviewing your course, that you have a lot of testimonials. People who've taken your courses who, can't say enough good things about what they've learned from you. Is there a way that you've leveraged that in order to showcase that people really do get success from your course?
Yeah, here, this page is my main website, and on my website, I have a page dedicated to the masterclass. And so, as they work their way down that page, here at the bottom in the yellow type, these are the students from the first run of the masterclass online. And I actually, I asked them if they would be willing to offer
As
anything.
as you always should. You always should ask people for testimony, get
Right.
their thumbs up here.
And three of them even allowed me to use their photo, which I think just adds a little more credibility. It makes it more relatable. So these 4 testimonials are 4 of the 6 students that took the course in February. And then the other testimonials here are from in-person classes that I've taught over the years. And these were
Super cool.
unprompted, other testimonials.
I wanted to just interrupt you just for a second. I want to acknowledge, Melissa, I saw that you put your hand up. Did you have a question that you wanted to ask?
It's just in the queue for when we go to Q&A.
Okay, that's good. No worries. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I think good start for only having run the course once to get some good testimonials right from the beginning. And again, here on this page, they have 3 or 4. I've got 3 or 4 links. I talk about the course, who's it for, and if they click on this image or any of these yellow bars, that takes them right to that same sales page. So let's see, what else should I show you?
Talk us through the first time that you ran the mini course. What kinds of, was it fully automated? Were you doing something where you were giving, was it part synchronous, part asynchronous? Were you doing some live sessions, some not live sessions?
I've not done the mini course yet. This will be the first time. And so I've got it set up to be a, it's basically just this video, and which is about 15 minutes long, but they play it, they get to the first exercise and they pause the video and then they do the exercise, right? And so there's 3 exercises, 2 drawing exercises and a painting exercise. And then at the end, I talk about, how it's player, what shape, how that relates, and how they're going to learn more if they take the
master class. Okay,
the master
fantastic.
class, right? So this is just to give them a taste of the master class, get them interested, and then take them on to the order form for the master class. So this part I didn't do before. This is new. And what I ran before was, the main class. And let me see this one. And so this, like I'll show you all the modules. So I'm running this 6 weeks, and every Tuesday night we'll have a live Zoom session. That's what I did the last time, only I did it 8 weeks, and I decided to shorten that a little bit. And so I'm kind of doubling up, giving them 2 training videos each week. And these are all the different modules that I have for them. So I'll be kind of running it the same way I did the first time, live Zoom session once a week, where we go over the previous week's lessons. I do some reviews, critiques of some of their work, talk to them about the upcoming week, etc.
That was going to be my question, because you're teaching a physical skill, right? How have you incorporated feedback? Are you using the forum, or are people submitting work to you? Or are they getting on the Zoom and holding up a picture, or what are they doing?
Yeah, I did use the forum. I had some issues with that because it's the interface I feel is a little confusing. Let me jump over to that real quick here. So when they would come to the forum, they kind of didn't know where to click. And, you have to click here and then you get my message, but then you got to open it up more to really get the full message. And I just ask them a few questions. Then they have to know, to post here. And a lot of them were just starting new threads, and it became kind of confusing. And you have to understand, my clients are mostly my age and older, so we tend to be a little more technically challenged, probably.
Sure, totally understand.
So this, I would love if this could be cleaner and simpler, where they just open it up and boom, this is right there. It's just obvious, and they can just answer the questions, and we can just continue the same thread. I had students, and like going on 3 or 4 different threads, and it was hard throughout the course to bounce back and forth between all of those when I was doing critiques, because this is how I had them submit their work, was to the forum. So that was one issue. Another question I had while we're on this subject, I mean, I only had 6 students last time, and so it was reasonably easy to touch on each of their homework in an 1.5-hour Zoom session. But when I have more students, how do you handle that? I wouldn't have time to critique everyone's work in a Zoom session like that. So that was one of my questions.
I offer that to the group. I mean, I have one answer, but if anybody else wants to offer another answer, either in the chat or Lori, if you want to give some feedback as well.
Yeah,
what happens when your classes start to scale? How do you give individual feedback?
Well, individual feedback is always going to slow you down from scaling, but I do the same thing, and I'll just have them submit like in between class, and I will privately, I'll either do a Loom video or I'll do like a Google Docs. I don't know what your format is that you could look at or not, but I don't do it live on the class. I'll maybe have one example and then everybody else. So because I like to overgive, I want to make sure everybody gets results. That's how I do it.
I think as well, I think there's a real upsell opportunity for one-on-one feedback. And I mean, I don't want to focus everything on necessarily sales, but having that light touch during the course, but then saying, hey, look, I offer, as a part of my practice, I offer a one-on-one session for $100 or $250, whatever it is.
And I did that at the end of my previous course. I offered that to them, for a fee. They could book a one-on-one session, and I gave them a favorable rate as existing students. No one took advantage of it, but I did offer that. So yeah, the forum. Let's see what else. we have, trying to remember here. Yeah, there's the marketplace page, and again, my website, and trying to remember some of the questions that you guys asked or wanted to know.
What are the other any other challenges that you experienced while you were either building the course or while you were delivering the course that you thought were particularly important to share?
Well, I think the main challenge was I was learning a lot of new things at once. Like I'm not that savvy about video, so I'm learning editing software. I'm learning DaVinci editing, and then I'm learning the Xperiencify website and how to load that. I built that all myself, which was, the first time around pretty time consuming, but I enjoyed it for the most part. Another thing that I did struggle with was when you've got the students. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, like if you click on your students and you just want to send them an email, it's very cumbersome. You have to go back to the experience engine and you got to, it takes like 11 clicks to get through and create the email. And then you got to come back here and then select that email, remember what you titled it, and send it off. And it would just be so nice to be able to just click here and just send them an email, because there were several times during the course where I thought of something and I just wanted to remind them or just give them a few words of encouragement midweek, just to let them know that, I'm thinking about them and I know they've got homework assignments and things. So that was a bit of a hassle as well. Just the email system, I think, could really be simplified. It would be nice. I mean, I understand the reason for it, for having all the triggers and things, and for the automated emails, I think that's wonderful. But when you want to just do a reach out and touch someone kind of email, it would be easier to just have something more direct. So yeah, the email and the forum were probably the two challenges I had as in terms of technical challenges. But everything else, and I struggled a little bit the first couple sessions with Zoom because I was also learning that. I'm
Sure.
It's a lot of technology at once for my old brain.
I want to call out two things that Hema has pointed out. One is that she has a custom email update an email template that she can use. Another way, another option that you have is, rather than, you can create an experience on the fly. Some people have had difficulty with that, or sometimes that doesn't work exactly the way that we want it to. But you could create a custom experience and then put that into the course, so that it would send it to everybody who's enrolled in the course. But then, of course, then if you have previous students, you have that issue as well. So I want to acknowledge that that issue of being able to send an email to everyone during your course. That's a good one.
Sure. And I did have, and I
Mm-hmm.
was monitoring the forum during the week in between our Zoom sessions. And, if someone submitted their homework or had a question there, I would try to answer that, between the Zoom sessions as well. So they had a little, I like that they have a little more access to me other than just the once a week, because I did have a couple questions midweek. So that
100%.
was, once I found their note, which thread it was in, I could answer it. Yeah.
So I think this is a great sequence, or a segue moment to answer Melissa's question. Melissa had posted this to both Lori and you, Cody. Are you using the system email templates or reminders, or your own email sequence? And then Lori, Melissa, it looks like your question got cut off there. It says, is there any advantage to using, and I'm not sure what the end of your sentence was there.
Xperiencify of the Xperiencify emails, as opposed to using my own email system where my newsletter resides.
Sure. So Lori, why don't you answer that question first? In terms of what did you use
Well,
for sending email?
I use both. I have I use Aweber and I use Zapier to connect them. I have no idea how that works or if it's even working. So that's the one. So, also, I agree with Cody that the email, and I know you guys don't want to be email service providers, but there's just something maybe in between. But other than that, yeah, I use when they're in the course, I just use XP. Once they're out of the course, hopefully they've confirmed their email and they're on my regular list so I can upsell other things.
Yeah, and I
Sorry,
also
I'm
use the Xperiencify system like this, going through and creating something. And like I said, for the automated things, I think it's great. You can have triggers for when they get certain amount of points or based on time since they joined, et cetera. And that's terrific. But yeah, if you need to like just kind of quickly send out something to have to come in and create this and create this and then create this, and then you got to go back to the student page to actually send it. And yeah, that would be nice if we could streamline that a little bit or have some other simpler way. And I haven't, like I said, I only have 6 students, so it hasn't been an issue in terms of collecting a lot of emails, but that was a question I had, like when you scale up and get more clients, more students, do you guys recommend using some other kind of student management program or platform to manage that, or do you keep all the emails in Xperiencify?
So we would recommend that you use a customer relationship management or a customer, a CMS, a client management system like an Aweber or ActiveCampaign or Campaign Refinery or Constant Contact. There's MailChimp, obviously. There's tons of them. And what I would counsel you to do would be to use the moment of registration as a way to synchronize both your email system and Xperiencify. So when someone registers for a course, it's very easy to create a Zap or through Zapier, whichever one you like to say. So that, let's just say I sign up for your course. My email address would be both in the Xperiencify account, but it would also make sure that I exist in your CMS system, right? Your customer CRM, yeah. And so something that you can also send along with my email address to, let's just assume you use, MailChimp or Aweber, you said you used Aweber, you can send a tag along with it, right? And so when you could send the tag saying Stephen Laddick, Stephen@Xperiencify.com, and you would say, mini course mastering light, right? So that way, let's just say that you're in the middle of a course and you're like, wow, I'd really love to send an email to all these students just to encourage them or whatever. You would go over to Aweber and you would search for the tag mini course mastering light. And then that you would be able to add all of those students to that one email you created.
That would be in
and
your
send it out.
MailChimp list.
Correct.
But because you tagged it, you can send it to that group that all have the same tag.
Correct.
Right.
And so every time you run your course, you want to make sure that you are, if you have a periodic course like this, right, where you're going to run it maybe once a quarter or once a month or once every 6 months, you want to make sure
to do
that
it twice a year. Yeah.
So yeah, so if you do it twice a year, then you would want to make sure to change that tag so it says Mastering Light June 2024, and then it would be Mastering Light December 2024, right? You change that tag every time you do it, because when you go over to Aweber or MailChimp, sorry, you want to be able to search for the correct tag.
Right.
Now, if you have an evergreen course like the one Lori was showing us about, it's essentially just an EMC, an experiment course that just sits there and anybody can come in at any time.
Yeah.
You don't have to change the tag that you would use, because you want to talk to that, that just becomes a new audience. It would be an audience in MailChimp, a new audience that you would create. So that would be how I would create it. And that's how I would solve that problem for now.
Sure.
I know it sounds like it seems like a lot of work. And unfortunately I'm speaking from the space of, hey, I've been doing this for 20 years. So, it would only take me a few clicks to do, but that's one of the reasons why we have our office hours. That's one of the reasons why we have, our support team and whatnot. So these are good questions to ask.
Well, that was good.
Um,
Glad you mentioned the office hours because I had kind of forgotten about that with all the information after taking the course and then jumping right into doing my course. And that's a good reminder. Thank you. I need to join the office hours more often.
No worries. So Sue, I also want to acknowledge you that you've had some issues with the EMC, and I really appreciate it. I'd love for you to either come to office hours and talk with us, or schedule a discovery call with me. You can find that, and I'm happy to walk through those issues with you as well. But I think the open office hours are the right place to start. Cody, if you wouldn't mind stop sharing your screen, I will just
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to put in the chat for everybody right now, just those two reminders. So this is, if you want to get the schedule for our, I've got to move my arms here. This is the link. I want everyone to see it. This is the link for our open office hours. And then again, as another option to take away some friction and get you up and running fast. This is a link to go learn about our done for our done for you services. And Sue, just I want to be clear, in our office hours, it's an ask me anything format. So you can ask us about any type of course template. You can ask us about any type of thing that you'd like. So you're more than welcome to come. Folks, it's amazing how quickly an hour goes by. And I'm always trying to adjust and do some time management here so that we give our creators enough time to go through their courses and show it off, but also then honor the questions that we have and whatnot. So this will continue to be a dance of time management as we always have. But I also want to honor everybody else's time. And thank you all for coming out. Just a reminder as well before we close out, take advantage of those office hours that we have. You now have that link in the chat. Also take advantage of those done for you courses if you'd like, but do come with your questions. As I said at the very beginning, myself, Brenda, Gabrielle, Rachel, Murray, the rest of the team, we really are interested in working with you and helping you overcome these challenges or any challenges that you have. Sometimes it's the matter of just having that aha moment about, one box to check or, one thing to think about. Sometimes it's a little more complex about how do I set up a Zap between Xperiencify and my CMS system. And, there's a little more complexity there, but, we're here, this is what we get paid for. And so we're ready to answer your questions, but we're going to put a pin in it there. Thank you so much for everybody coming out. Thank you so much to Lori and Cody for sharing today. Really, really appreciate it. And of course, reach out to them if you'd like to learn more about what they do. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
The deck, I'm so confused. I'm just confused. So this is not Q&A. So so when is Q&A?
Sorry.
I'm so sorry because it's just on the calendar, it does say that it's a Q&A. So
sure.
I'm just confused. I wouldn't have stayed here for an hour if I didn't know we were in Q&A. So when is Q&A?
I apologize.
okay.
Today's office hours were a special showcase so that we had people presenting, and so we had the ability to ask them questions and answer some questions as well. I have some extra time right now. If you have some questions that you'd like to ask, I'm happy to answer them.
I mean, I can come to a different office hour. I just my question is really about how to use the system to create an event dashboard, and I filled out the form. So that was my question,
yeah.
but I'm happy to come to a different time.
Well, let's stick around for a bit and talk about what you want to create in terms of an event dashboard.
Okay, so I am having a live 3-day event, very much like how Marissa does hers. And I just am thinking I want to have, most event dashboards are just a dashboard and it says, join the the main session, and then there's a Q&A Zoom room and etc. But I was trying to think of a way to use Xperiencify to like give a better experience for an event dashboard, and just thought if you had any suggestions, you know, kind of what that might look like.
Sure, I understand. I've used a number of different platforms that are specifically for running an event, like an online conference or whatever label you want to give it, right? And
Mhm.
just so that everybody who's listening is up to speed, like usually on, at some place, either be a top menu or a left menu, it'll be like, you could go to a breakout room, or you could have a coffee chat, or you could come to, a Q&A session, or you could go to the live sessions. Ultimately, I'm really gonna have to think about that. Xperiencify is built as a course platform, right? So it's, come in,
Yeah.
choose the course you want, and then go through the course. Tell me about your event. Like, what is it that you're trying to achieve in terms of like, do you want to have 3 or 4 different tracks that people could go through and then go to those different tracks, or?
Yeah, so I'm gonna drop the link so while I'm talking about it, you can see what I'm doing. So I want to have obviously the dashboard where they can access the main stage, but I also want to have kind of extra things that they can do as homework, extra. So instead of, sometimes people aren't necessarily at the whole entire event. So I want to have like little mini videos and worksheets or worksheets that they can do. Like, let's say they come in late, like they can still like catch a little bit of a video and see what it is. It just gives more touch points. For me, it gives more touch points for the audience. In case, you know,
Yeah,
I
sure. Mhm.
it gives more touch points for people to see me, so that when I actually make an offer, uh, they've seen some of the work and some of the worksheets, etc., beyond just the workbook that gets mailed to them, right? So I was just thinking they could have different tracks, or they could have like maybe 3 different extra trainings. And I was also thinking about, leading up to the event, because the event's not until September, but I already have people buying tickets. So if I want to hold their attention, so having that be a dashboard and providing some content for them, some worksheets, some things to do, some calculators, etc., would be a good idea. I just don't want to have them be using one system, and then it comes time for the event, and then I'm like, nope, we're going to be over here.
Right, I totally feel that. I'm looking right now, have you already connected subscription, let's see, your domain, Melissa Alans, is that what it is?
Melissa Lands,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
Melissa Alans, sorry. Have you connected that to your Xperiencify account so that you're using our custom domain?
I have. I'm not using it yet, and one of the issues is that I have a different course right now running for my other company inside Xperiencify. So on one of the office hours, I said, can I have like 2, different businesses? And the suggestion was to get a domain that was like very agnostic to an actual product.
Right.
My problem is I'm running a
Mhm.
year-long program called My Best Year inside of Xperiencify right now. And like I have 153 students. And so if I change, it's going to ruin all of their magic links. I mean, I'm going to have to bite the bullet anyway, because I want to be able, but it's just a campaign for them to realize that their magic link has now changed. So I do have a custom domain. I'm going to change it once again if I decide to use the platform for the event.
Okay. The only reason I asked that, because I remember that I think I was the one who gave you the advice to use a higher
You were.
level. Yeah, I was gonna say a higher level umbrella because you run multiple businesses. Um, I'm trying to think creatively about so let me back up as well. The reason I suggested that we use that custom domain, because then that would be easy in terms of not getting your learners lost by, because no matter where they were, they would always be at melissalons.com, and they would be either in courses, they would come back to melissalons.com, and then you would have I would just, for your event, I would maybe have, a unique landing page or a homepage for your site, but then everything else is just designed for this event that you have.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to say is I completely understand the business problem you're trying to solve, right? The learner, like the event problem you're trying to solve. The most creative kind of solution that I can come up with off the top of my head is to use, like, I'm looking at your site right here, is to use a site like you have right now and use that as the place you point people, you know, as they're coming into your whatever CRM you're using, continue to point them to that, and then use that as the single source for the truth for, hey, look, it's August and we're going to do a mini course this, you know, before the show, and then come back, you know, and you're going to send them back to that page and say, hey, look, now it's September and we're going to, you know, maybe introduce these calculators, you know, and send them back to that. You keep coming back to that page as the single source of the truth in your marketing, as well as whatever communications you have going out. Because then on that same page as well, you can say, hey, look, now we're in the live event. We have 3 tracks. We have 3 nice columns. I'm always trying to think as well, because most people are going to view it on a mobile phone, right? Most people they always, I always design mobile first, because I always make the assumption that most of my clients are going to come on a phone. And so is it, you know, track 1, 2, 3, they appear stacked on top of one another. And then if they happen to be on a laptop or something, then they unfold nicely. So you got 1, 2, 3 there. And those could be just 3 different courses. That's how I would design that landing page. And I see you already have something similar to it right now in, I just saw it a few seconds ago. Like you have your day 1 create, day 2 attract, day 3 automate. Like I could see those becoming, and they stack nicely when you make it responsive for a phone. So I would use that
Right.
same kind of.
Got it. So those would each be trainings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right. So then you just have a nice thumbnail there, and you say, hey, look, here's the whatever it is, you know, calculator number 1, and here is, you know, life plan number 2, and here, yeah, and so use
Yeah.
those as your way to
Okay.
and you could always
Because I can put the same button to launch the Zoom
exactly
room on every single training.
100%.
And so it doesn't matter where they're at. Like I can have day one, and then if they missed day 1, they can go back, they can they can see a little video, they can they can do whatever tasks are for day 1, etc. They'll
And
still
so
earn points.
yeah,
Okay. I'm
and what we
seeing
would
how I
do,
could unfold this. Okay.
and what we would do for day 1, right? Let's just say, you know, you're going to have a cohort come into day 1, and they're going to go through it live with you. They're going to be on a Zoom call or whatever. This is where, if you look in our help files for cohort course, right?
Mhm.
What
Course. Okay.
a cohort course, right?
Uh-huh.
What we recommend that you do is that you actually create 2 versions of the cohort course. One is for your live presentation, and then the other one is for evergreen content. So you're basically you're going to create the course that you're going to give in October, and then you're going to make a total, an exact duplicate of it. And what happens is that as people go through it live with you, you know, you're giving out bonuses, you are giving Zooms, you know, you're doing that. And then all of those people, when they get to the end of it, you give them a tag that signs them up for the evergreen course, so that they continue to accumulate in there. And so as they go through your 3 courses, you can even create one master course that has all 3 days in there or something like that. But ultimately what allows you to do is allows you to aggregate everyone in an evergreen course, so that they don't ever lose any of the material. The material is always available to them, and they can access it. But that unique day when you're presenting, it disappears after that day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. And it's also good because only VIPs get access to the replays. So to do
Exactly.
it this way, it makes a lot of, oh my gosh. Okay. Thank you.
So here I'm putting this in, the chat in Zoom. Here's the help file about how to do that.
Okay.
If you follow that,
Perfect.
it's like, that's how we recommend you, because that's what it sounds like you want to do. And now that you're mentioning you have VIPs, that's exactly what we'd recommend, because you know, if they don't purchase that VIP package, or they don't, you know, then you don't give them that tag, and then it's a one and done, they lose it. But if they have the tag, they have access to the evergreen course, where they always have the material and whatnot.
The material, even though I'm going to go back, it's going to be a delay between putting it in, but as soon as I get it, that's a way I'll say anybody with this tag, like send it out and they'll like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much for staying a little bit longer.
worries,
And
no
I'm
worries.
gonna,
Hey,
I'm gonna think about this and then I will, and so are all of the Q&A calls this format where there's a presentation, or is it only,
No.
okay, it's just the lucky one that
So,
I came on today. Okay. Okay.
you literally just like, because when you, at the end there, when you were like, I wanted a Q&A, like, I thought you were just waiting for the last 5 minutes when we do a Q&A for these two, but no, it's called open office hours.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we hold them 3 times a week, and you just happen to come to one where we have this special showcase
Got it.
thing.
No problem. No worries. Awesome.
All right, have a great night.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.